There's a delay. Hello, and welcome to our Family Empowerment Conference from the Queen City of Meridian, Mississippi. I'm Overseer Shirley Denson, and this is my lovely daughter, Shanna Denson. Tonight we're going to be talking on the topic of loneliness. A lot of people don't like to admit they're lonely, but there's nothing wrong with admitting that you're lonely. It's a topic people feel taboo about because they fear they're going to be judged as weak, drama queen, and they just back into the shadows with this problem being unsolved. And again, I just want to say it's nothing wrong with admitting that you're lonely. It's nothing wrong with admitting that you love being around people or love conversing or gatherings. There's nothing wrong with that. And even if you are introvert during this pandemic, all of us just about would love to be extroverts now because we've been locked in so long. But anyway, the topic tonight again is loneliness, the fear of loneliness, the fear of confessing it, the admitting it or sharing it with anybody because you think you're going to be judged, you think people won't understand, but really more people than you realize suffer with loneliness. Another thing I would like to share with you is a woman is a natural caretaker. And so women, they would be taking care of other people and a lot of times neglecting themselves and neglecting their own needs and can even be around people, caring for people and feeling lonely. And because it's not so much about being in a crowd, but it's about feeling that connection. Sometimes you can be with a person, but you're not feeling the connection. And you want to feel that connection. So because we are natural caregivers and we neglect a lot of times to take care of ourselves, I want to encourage the ladies to do some retail therapy every now and then, and do something special for yourself. Put yourself in this forefront, in this center, because we have a tendency to neglect ourselves. So let's get back to loneliness. I want to share a little information with you because this is a serious issue, because we Christians, a lot of times we like to try to ignore certain things we deal with naturally, but you just can't do. This is something I read today. It was noteworthy. It says the more lonely you've been over your life, the more likely you are to have conditions that affect your health. Obesity, high blood pressure, and bad cholesterol levels. For example, women who are lonely are likely to have coronary heart disease. So this loneliness is a serious issue, and it shouldn't be something that you are shy to talk about, you fear sharing, because it can affect you physically, not only emotionally, but it can affect you physically. And I wanted to share a few statistics that she found concerning loneliness and being lonely. Anna?
I found that there are effects of loneliness that also affect your body. And it's stated that loneliness was associated with higher risk of depression, anxiety, and suicide. Loneliness among heart failure patients was associated with nearly 4 times increase of risk of death and 68% increase risk of hospitalization and 57% increase of risk of emergency department visits. So loneliness can affect your body in a very, very negative way. And to that death being the total end of how it affects your body, how it will take over, and your end result. That's how it will can end your life.
Very serious.
Very.
It's very serious. Another thing I want to share with you concerning loneliness, we're people. We have different realities. We handle things differently, just like grief. Everybody don't handle grief the same way. It depends on your personality, on your mental stability, it's how you handle certain problems. And so if you do decide to share your problem of loneliness with somebody and they seem like they can't relate, don't be disturbed. Don't let it affect you, cause you to be depressed or I knew I shouldn't have shared it, because the way you are being affected by loneliness, somebody else might not be being affected the same way. And so it doesn't mean that your problem or what you're dealing with emotionally or physically is not real. It's just as real as somebody else who can't relate to you because they're handling it or dealing with it a different way. And another thing about loneliness, because we do push it in the closet, because we do put it up under the rug, a lot of times we don't even recognize the problem is loneliness. Sometimes we snappy, and sometimes we impatient and can't tolerate too much or nothing, and realize those could be some of the symptoms of loneliness. And when something you desire, something that you really need is not being fulfilled, you're going to be affected by it some kind of way. So I just want to encourage you not to be so quick to feel like you can't share it, you shouldn't share it. Don't be so concerned about they're going to see me, will they still receive me, it's all about your mental health. It's all about you being the woman that God has made you to be, the strong woman, the confident woman, the woman that understands. Yes, we deal with mental issues, we deal with emotional issues. Everybody that carry themselves as if they are the rock of Gibraltar. Okay? We all have problems. And so find somebody to talk to concerning this thing we call loneliness, or the fear of being alone. Because like I said earlier, you could be in a crowd and still have that feeling of loneliness. It's different than just choosing to be by yourself. When you have that desire or that void for relationship, for contact. Jenna, did you share the difference between solitude and loneliness?
No.
Let's get to that. That's very interesting. Okay.
Loneliness is different than solitude. Solitude is time that you can be yourself, be perfect, being by yourself, enjoying your peace and quiet, give yourself some time to unload, breathe, or just relax. That's completely different from loneliness. I know some people may say, well, I like to be alone. Being alone and loneliness and solitude, completely different things. That's not a something that they group together. The feelings of loneliness have negative consequences. So when you're feeling lonely, it's mostly you're in a negative thoughts that come with loneliness, the feeling of loneliness, and also loneliness is a feeling, not a set of circumstances. You can have a wonderful family, a close family. You can have wonderful friends. You can have a booming career, but still feel lonely. Still have those feelings, and a lot of times it is feelings of loneliness can be negative or negative feelings, and whether it's questioning yourself, whether it's second guessing yourself, whether it's doubt, things that will actually make you push yourself away from being open and honest with the people love or the people, your family, your friends. And so, solitude, perfectly fine. You can enjoy your solitude and enjoy your being alone, to having your peace. I'm sure parents enjoy solitude away from children. I'm sure aunties solitude away from children. So that's a time to refresh, restore, rejuvenate yourself, and it is completely from loneliness. It is give it a space, positive head space, and can actually push you even further over people, even people.
Right. That was good information. Another thing I wanted to share was read today. A lot of people, when they think of loneliness, think old people, older people. But the report I read today was young women also suffer from loneliness, and they call it. They said now loneliness is the new cancer. Wow. And they said it's a shameful, embarrassing thing brought upon yourself in some kind of way. A fearful, incurable thing, so horrifying that you dare not mention it. So it's been described in such a way among these young people that just the shame of it is going to keep them from seeking help. Just the embarrassment of it is going to keep them from won't expose the fact that they may be suffering from this thing called loneliness. Mm-hmm. But I want to encourage you young people, you young ladies, regardless of what it is, we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And so regardless of what's happened, don't let that circumstance cause you to linger in loneliness or live in loneliness. Don't let that overtake you. Don't let that be one of the things that can cause you to be robbed of your livelihood and your youthful enthusiasm. Don't let that happen to you. You find somebody you can talk to. You talk to your pastor. You talk to some responsible elder, somebody that can give you good advice, that would listen, because sometimes we just need to vent and just let it out. And a lot of times we feel better after we have exposed certain things to others, been vulnerable or open up, expose certain things, problems that we have, and to somebody that can be patient and listen. See where you're coming from. I hear you. Okay. And if you can't do anything, say, that's going to be on my prayer list for you. You're going to be on my prayer list, and we're going to believe God for some changes. That's right. Don't let embarrassment of this issue, this problem, because you're not the only one. It might not be worn as a label on your forehead, but I promise you, there are many people suffering with this loneliness. And so don't you be caught up in losing the life you could enjoy because you were afraid to expose it to somebody. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, we would like you to let us know. If we're here to answer your questions. If you have any questions, Shannon, you had any question you'd like to?
Well, that was
We had some scriptures we would like to give. Okay. And this is one of the reasons why we feel loneliness, because God made us creatures of relationships. We're supposed to be in relationships. We're supposed to be connecting. We're supposed to be gathered together. And so when there's void there, we're gonna fit. But now sometimes the devil will take advantage of that to try to throw you off, hinder you, or just take your joy away. So, but we have been created by God to be people in relationships. So we have to nurture those relationships. We have to, the Bible says, if you want a friend, show yourself friendly. So sometimes we have to get that space of that comfort zone of being by yourself. And hello, my name is Shannon, and introduce yourself to somebody. So let's hear what Shannon has to say.
Okay. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, it says, "And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him."
Now, here we are, God starting the relationship. Although this was a husband and wife relationship, this was the beginning of our relationship. So God, it was not good for man. He made man male and female. Made he them. So it's not good that we be alone. It's not good that we be lonely. So find a way to deal with that loneliness, and find a way to, nothing is going to break overnight. We understand it's a process. It's something you have to put effort into, and you have to nurture it, but you will see results. You will see change once you focus on. You can't solve a problem that focus on. You can't solve a problem that refuse to discuss. It's going to get worse and worse. Dealing with loneliness now, but know that once you start dealing with it, little by little, you're going to see positive results. Okay.
There was a question, I think it was from a Shay Green, and she was saying that she was, the pandemic was about to make her lose her mind, and she wanted to know if you had any advice for her. She needed some advice for coping with being in the house during the pandemic.
Okay, so you're asking, okay, so pandemic dealt things with the extrovert. It made them feel as if they were going to lose mind. Like, I got to get out of here. I got to be around people. With the introvert, like me, it was like, okay, hey, lock the door on your way. I'll stay in here until it's over. But so find something positive to do. Become creative. You know, a lot of times we have gifts that we forgot about, we haven't used in a long time. We read a book, write some poems, find something to do. You might use to sew. Start sewing, start doing something that'll help to occupy your time. And then we don't just have to be in the house. If you have, go outside and sit on the front porch, count the cars. That's it. I'm just saying, go outside, sit on the front porch, just walk around in the yard, do some gardening, do something that will make the monotony of sitting in the house and feeling like you can do nothing but sit in the house. It's something else that you can do. And even when you go out, wear your mask. Take your hand sanitizer and go to the mall. Stay 6 feet from the next person. Then when you leave, clean your hands with sanitizer, take your mask off, then you go back home. But don't feel like you can do nothing. It is something that you can do. And when we feel like they can do nothing, our world starts closing in on us more and more and more and more, get smaller and smaller. But you got to start telling yourself, it is something I can do. This thing is not going to run me crazy. It's not going to make me lose my mind. It's something I can do. You can find something else to do while you're still in quarantine or isolation. You can do it. Mm-hmm.
Also, I would suggest video chat. I mean, you may be at home, but you can still have that feeling of being around other people. You can video chat your friends, your family members, your coworkers if y'all close, like that. I mean, and then Facebook ways to do group video chats. You know, it can be more than one person. Y'all can have a video chat party, makeup. I don't know. It can be anything that you want to do, but it can be done through a video chat, and you all can still feel that camaraderie, that feeling of being with someone, but still being safe.
Another question.
Yes, she said, any advice on dating during pandemic? I really want male companionship.
I'll handle that one.
I honestly don't know.
Dating sites.
Well, I mean, I guess the same thing would go with dating during the pandemic. You have the video chat. You got Google. You got time. I mean, hand sanitizer, mask.
That's a way to be done.
It can be done.
Really. You first got to meet the person, and if you have met the person, I promise you, you will find a way to connect with that person and be safe, and be safe, and still be safe. Right.
That's true. Any more questions?
And concerning wanting companionship, God answers prayer. He's an answer prayer.
That's true.
So trust in God, give him because he cares for you, and believe God that he will send you a companionship, because it is God's will that we have companionship. Do we have another question? Is that Donnell Grady?
Okay. Someone at the right time. Good. Just exactly what you just said.
Right.
Tanner Richards said that Shay Green might want to try praying that God sees someone at the right time. And that is actually the point. You don't want Mr. Right now time. So
is that a real thing?
I think it is.
Okay. Anyway, what God doesn't do it in his perfect. He's perfect ways. So
that's right.
If he said it, if it's from God, need I say more? If it's from God, okay.
Shay says, yes, overseer, I want to be found by a man. I hope he can find me.
Yes. And God already know where you are.
That's right.
And he know who he is. So keep your confidence, keep your trust and your faith in God. And I promise you, he that put his trust in God will not be made ashamed. No. Keep on trusting. Keep on believing. But be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Say it 3 times. Be patient. Okay.
She said, y'all help me pray because I want him COVID free.
If God sent him, he gonna be COVID free.
Hallelujah.
And a whole lot of other things free too. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But oh goodness. So oh, Sarah.
Thank you,
Reverend
Brina.
says, great advice.
Thank you, Brina.
Yeah. That's right, overseer. Yeah, I see more. That's
Thank
right.
you. Okay. Thank God for you. All right. Okay, so we're getting ready now. This is a conference and it's an awesome conference, and it is packed with great topics the rest of the week. And so we want to encourage you to be here, be faithful, and support this great conference. Shannon?
We have 3 ways that you can give. You can give on the efvn.org website and click on the Give tab. If you want to give through the mobile app, through your mobile phone, you can use the app called Givelify, and you would just need to search for Evangelical Faith Vision Ministries. Or you can also give by mail, and you can send your donation to EFVM PO Box 4460, Albany, Georgia 31706. And we are greatly appreciated to whatever you would like to give as a donation. It's always good to give from the heart. God
loves a cheerful giver.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
All right. So we'd like to continue to encourage you to be faithful with the conference for the rest of the week. Getting back to the topic of loneliness, I just want to reiterate and wrap this up like this. It's a serious issue if you are dealing with it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing that you brought on yourself. It's just, it happens. It just happens sometimes. And so we're going to be praying for you. We're going to be praying with you that you find the courage that you need to approach that person that can help you, approach pastor, your overseer, the person that can help you with this issue. And God is a healer. He's a deliverer. And he did tell us he would never leave us, nor forsake us. And although we are natural people desiring natural relationships and natural connection, we know ultimately that God is there all the time. He will never leave us so much. So be encouraged. Encourage somebody else. People out there are confused. They don't have the stability. They don't have the knowledge of God that you have. Share that knowledge with God. That could break some loneliness. That could be the answer to that problem of isolation and feeling separated. But anyway, God loves you. He has given the best for us, humanity, and that was Jesus. So encourage. Hold on to us changing hand. Know this, that we're living in a time where God is doing miraculous like never before. Stay in faith so you can get that miracle. God loves you. See you next time.